For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, first for the Jews and then for the Gentiles. Preach the gospel. Preach the gospel, because it's the great commission of Jesus Christ. Mark 16:15. Go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. The gospel is Jesus. The gospel is salvation. The gospel is his heartbeat. There is nothing else that makes him happy than seeing believers on the street lay down the gospel. It's a joy in heaven over one soul that repent. Preach the gospel. Preach it like never before. Preach it like that's the last thing on earth. Preach it like there's no tomorrow. Be born again and preach the gospel. The nations are waiting. That is why we are saved and redeemed, for God's purpose, not our personal purpose. The gospel is our purpose. It's about God's plan is through you to you for his glory. Preach the gospel. It's unpleasing to God to keep the gospel to ourselves. I can't keep it in my pocket and play church. I got to keep the fire burning by preaching this gospel. That is why God called you and I. Like Jonah tried to run away from the calling. Like Moses that tried to give every excuse not to preach this gospel. Like Paul, God struck me down from my pride and gave me a mission for his vision to reach the nation for Jesus. Preach the gospel. You are the light and the salt of this world. How will they see the way in darkness if we keep the light from them? Switch the lights, preachers. How will they taste and see that the Lord is good if we keep the salt away from them? Lead them to Christ's disciples. The Bible says, whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. How then will they call on him who they have not believed? And how will they believe in whom they have not heard? And how will they hear without a preacher? And how will they preach if they are not sent? The power of Jesus Christ have pulled me to the lost. The cross demonstrates hope. Hell shows that there is victory in Jesus Christ. Preach that gospel, brother. Preach that gospel, sister. Preach that gospel, church. Your testimony is a test in many people's life. Yes, your testimony. Test and see how many people's lives are being transformed. Preach the gospel. The gospel. Preach it. And preach it right. And preach it right.